true that 19 years ago we had the first global conference, and it's wonderful to be able to have this series of events where we can bring many different traditions together, focus on parts of Buddhism which has not been focused on before, discuss meditation in a deep way, and also to even maybe just change the world. That almost happened some years ago, because I had one friend who came to one of the global conferences which we had in Perth some years ago. He was the head, like the equivalent of the governor of the state of Western Australia, even though they called him Premier. And he was a fellow called Jeff Gallup, and he happened to be the best man at Tony Blair's wedding. They were at Oxford together, they were both Rhodes Scholars, and they were just so close together. And at that time, Tony Blair was the Prime Minister of UK. And I hatched my plan to change the world. Because I had Dr. Gallup as a very, very close friend. I influenced him a lot. But actually, seriously, one of the reasons why he became a close friend, that Dr. Gallup, at the height of his powers, is very popular. He got depressed. Very deep depression, which he realized when he was visiting his friend, Tony Blair, in Chequers, in England. It was the Prime Minister's country estate. And he realized for all that success and power, he was suffering from deep depression. And because he was quite well known, he came to see me, to see if we could get him out of the depression. And it worked. And I thought, great, now I have Dr. Gallup. Now I'm sure I can get Tony Blair. And once I have Tony Blair as a Buddhist, as a disciple, the next step was George Bush. And then the whole world would change. Unfortunately, it didn't work according to Brahm, but it was quite close. But what was important was, it doesn't matter just what position a person is in the world, just to be able to notice that somehow this meditation, this mindfulness, these wonderful teachings which are available can help people from all places actually overcome their depressions and see a much better way of life, and actually to take this world in a more positive direction. And that is one of the reasons why we call this particular conference Beyond Mindfulness. We all know what mindfulness can do. We can take it much further. And when we take it further, and there's so many ways that we can get beyond things like depression. While we can get beyond enmity, which separates human being from human being, religion from religion, race from race, politics from politics, we can actually find those bridges, which we're going to talk about later on today, about how we could use some of these teachings in a ways which mean we don't need violence. We don't need revenge. As somebody was reminding me, one of their favourite sayings, which apparently I said, was, we don't need revenge in this world. Why seek revenge when we believe in karma? Because karma will get bastards anyway. So in other words, it's simple teachings. And I say this in local language. So people can remember it and put it into practice. And when we do put it into practice and it starts to work, what a wonderful thing it is to be able to serve other people. I did actually just write something down, scribbled it down. It's one of those sayings about mindfulness. said by the Buddha, which actually can take it further. It's from the sutras. It's always good for the mindful one. The mindful one dwells in happiness. It is better every day for the mindful one, and they are free from enmity. And the Buddha corrected the person who said that, said no. It is always good for the mindful one. The mindful one dwells in happiness. It is better every day for the mindful one, but they are not free of enmity. There's something more which is needed. And I'm sure once you hear what the Buddha said, what is extra which is needed, I think everyone in this room would agree. That one whose mind, day and night, takes delight in harmlessness, who has loving kindness to all beings, for them there is enmity with no one. And one of the things I like in that saying is that who delights in harmlessness. That we don't practice compassion and kindness because we're a Buddhist and we're supposed to. It's something we delight in the beauty of helping one another, serving one another, and have loving kindness to all beings, including oneself. And when one has loving kindness to oneself as well as to all other beings, then enmity disappears. It's very difficult to see the difference between human beings. And that is one of the reasons why that I'm very happy to see so many bhikkhunis, fully ordained nuns, also presenting at this conference, which means that we have this wonderful support for all beings. And of course you have to also mention that today, apparently this weekend in San Francisco, we're celebrating Gay Pride Week. So to acknowledge just the hurt and harm which people of all, excluding marginalized communities, have felt over those years. And as a Theravada Buddhist monk, I can never get out of my mind, my memory, a time when a senior member of the gay community over in Australia, he confronted me one day and he said, religion has been very cruel to gay people. And he said it with such pain. I will never forget that. And of course, as a Buddhist, as a practitioner, yes, we do spend a lot of time meditating, alone in solitude. But all of that energy, all of that power, all of that wisdom, we do take out into the world. And we do take it out and see who is being harmed or hurt, and see if we can, somehow, some way, relieve that hurt or harm. So, it's not just being mindful, it's dwelling night and day, compassionate to all beings, and to oneself, and delighted with that compassion. It's a free source of energy that when we serve other people, we get so much energy back ourselves. And for all those people organizing this conference, this evening and tomorrow, you'll be so tired and exhausted, but you'll have something inside your heart which is so precious. The delight of having done something important, to spread the Dhamma, help other people, and that just makes your life and other people's life worth living. You're delighting in harmlessness, in service. That is one thing I hope we focus on in this conference, beyond mindfulness, service, kindness, helping those who are marginalized. So I hope you really enjoy this conference and get much out of it. Unfortunately, you will hear from me many times later on. So I will finish off now with the speakers coming up. And I'm not sure if I went over time or under time or in time, but as a Buddhist monk, we are beyond time.